Alright, today we're going to create the bulb for the flashlight, and this is what the finished product will look like. So start by creating a new file, save as the bulb, and we're going to start with a sketch on the right plane. So create sketch on the right plane, and I'm going to start by right at the origin, go up or across. Essentially create an L. Each of these should be perpendicular lines. If they're not, you can go up and add a constraint. And then I'm going to add one more line to the left here, go past here, and I'm going to make that a construction line. Okay, and then I'm going to dimension this. So this line right here is 0.1 inch. Didn't get that one perpendicular, so hold on. Let me undo that. And I'm going to go ahead and add a constraint here and here. Make that perpendicular. Alright, so now this is 0.1 inch. This one will be 0.5 inches. And then I'm going to click on this. Oh, but I need to make this construction line coincident with my origin. So I'll come up here, make this coincident, choose the construction line and the origin. Notice how the construction line turns black. Go back to sketch dimensions, click on the construction line and then the first horizontal line, and if you move it to the right, you'll see that you're measuring from the construction line to that first horizontal line. We're going to revolve this around that construction line, so I actually want to measure this as a diameter. Right now it would be measuring it as a radius. So when I right click, I'm going to choose diameter dimension, and notice how now the end of that arrow goes down below the construction line, so that it's actually going to dimension a diameter, not a radius. And that diameter would be 0.4 inches. Let's move this. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing for this top one. So click on the construction line, go to that top horizontal line. Didn't quite get it. Let's see. So click here and there. Okay, and then right click diameter, and this diameter will be 0.59. Okay. Alright, so you should essentially have a little like an L here with a long edge, with the diameter 0.4, 0.59, and then 0.1 and 0.5. So I'll finish sketch and then go to revolve instead of extrude. For my profile, I'm going to select that whole profile there. For my axis, I will select that construction line, and you'll see that it defaults to rotating it 360 degrees around that axis. If I wanted it less, for example, if I just wanted 100 degrees, it would just rotate it 100 or revolve it 100 degrees. But I do want it to be 360 degrees. I want to revolve it all the way around that construction line. It's a new body, and I will hit OK. Alright, so now I'm going to do a new sketch with a spline. So I will come back here and create a new sketch on my right plane, and this is going to be a spline, so a fit point spline. I'm going to kind of scroll in here to start the spline somewhere in this zone here, but on the far left. So I'm going to make it coincident with this line here, starting on the far left of my bulb, and just kind of spline this down here to there. Everyone's spline will be a little bit different, and that's okay. I hit enter, and then I'm going to close that shape with 2 lines. So start at the end of that spline, go to the origin, and then go up here, and you should have a closed thing. If you don't like how your spline looks, you can change and move these, move the black line, the circles, to change it. So once you have your spline like you want, you've hit finish sketch, and you will again choose revolve. My profile will be that entire profile. Make sure that it's a closed sketch, and then I'm going to revolve it around here, so the bottom of the sketch. You're going to create a new body or join and hit OK. So there is my end of my bulb. Now we're going to cut out part of this back. So again, look at the right plane. I'm going to create a new sketch on the right plane. I'm going to start by projecting this line into my new sketch. So come over here and do project this back line here. Hit OK. So that is now in my sketch. And then let's scroll in. I'm going to start at there. At the end of that line, go across, angle down, back to the projected line, and I guess I can close that and hit escape. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and create a construction line in the center here. So I'm going to start at that origin, have this come straight out, escape, let's choose that line, make that a construction line. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and dimension this again as a diameter. So I'm going to come up here to that first horizontal line, right click, diameter dimension, and that diameter should be 0.28. The top diameter we don't have to dimension because it should be coincident with the bulb, so it should be 0.4. This length here is also going to be 0.28, and then this right here will be 0.07. And that should be fully defined. If not, then you might have to make something coincident or make this 90 degrees, but do what you need to do to get that fully defined. And then we will go and revolve again. So I'm going to choose that profile to revolve, and my axis will be that construction line I did. I do want it to go around 360 degrees, but this time the operation will be cut, not join. I'm actually going to revolve cut, and so it cuts away that part, and there is what is left. Alright, so now I'm going to go and look at the front of my bulb, and I'm actually going to create a sketch on this part right here. So I'm going to scroll into there, right click on this, and create a sketch. And I'm going to start with a line. So I want to create a line from, or actually I'm going to start by creating a couple projections. So let's project and include this. And we'll go ahead and include this. And then we're going to create a line from the top circle to that bottom circle. And this is going to be a construction line. So choose on that, make that a construction line. Alright, then I don't want that chosen anymore. I'm going to create a line that goes from this purple, the outside circle, down to the midpoint of my construction line. what I will do is mirror, oops, did I get a mirror? No, circular pattern. I want to do a mirror of this line, and I'm going to mirror it about my construction line. And then I'm going to make these two lines perpendicular. So I'm going to choose this and make those perpendicular. So we have a little kind of like a triangle with this in here. And if I wanted to, I could actually trim and get rid of that, but we don't need to. So we'll go and then extrude, and we're going to choose that little triangle, and I'm going to actually cut it. So we can cut, and we can say well, one side and all. Just make sure that you've cut it there and hit OK. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circular pattern that cut all the way around. So I'm going to go to my pattern, choose a circular pattern. I don't want to face here, I want a feature. So I'm going to choose this feature. Let's see, I can choose that feature right there. My axis will be right there, and then how many do I want? Give it maybe eight of them around there. And we're going to do it full. We're going to do, yep. And so now I have my little cuts for my bulb. And then the last thing I need to do is add a dome shape back here. So I'm going to go and look at the back of this. I will right click and start a sketch. I'm going to project this circle, and I will actually go and let's just cut that circle in half there, finish the sketch, and then I will do I could do a revolve. I can choose this, that half profile, and the axis will be right here, and this time we only want 180 degrees, so we don't want it to revolve 360, and we'll join that and hit OK, and there is your bulb.